Hey everyone, it's Ogba Judge and Modus.
Hello.
And welcome back to the Rune Factory playthrough. So, after I got cut off this last time in the middle of the library, this is Newman's farm. Newman is going to be the guy who upgrades your house. He does also sell one or two things. You might end up buying feeding grass from him. That's about it. The main thing about Newman is that Sabrina here, who lives in a house on the beach, there's a little romance between them, and you can't marry Sabrina. You know, the romance between them is sort of like fixed, basically. It's a shame, because there's one or two characters, Sabrina and another one, the lady who runs the inn, who's called Lady Anne. And you can't marry either of them. Both of them have kids, so maybe it's that your character's afraid of adopting, who knows?
I think theirs is supposed to be that much older. But
they don't look it.
Yeah, it's anime graphics, so they don't look old.
Yeah. But, yeah,
You're saying I'm naive.
Well, Sabrina's kids certainly aren't that old. Sabrina's kid is quite a young kid. I mean, Lady Anne's kids, one of them you can marry, so yeah, Lady Anne's probably supposed to be quite old, but again, she doesn't look it. You would never know if the plot didn't tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
That last building was Camus's farm. Camus will build basically stables. I think he calls them like monster huts or something, but they're basically stables for you to keep monsters in once you can tame them. That's pretty much all you'll be using his farm for. Again, he'll sell you a couple of bits. Feeding grass is about the only thing you'll actually use.
Hey, I can forge anything you want.
This is actually a slightly important conversation. Because Camus here is going to ask for Grimoire's sword, and Grimoire's sword is a special sword that you can't forge except with a certain special ingredient, and so we'll be getting that special ingredient later, and we'll actually have Leo forge Grimoire's sword for us. So it's ever so slightly important, that particular introductory conversation.
Yeah, got business here?
But yeah, he's a blacksmith. He can do two things. He can upgrade your tools, which you'll want to do early in the game before you can do it yourself, and he can also sell you a few basic weapons. So we'll be buying stuff from him later. And I was saying Sabrina has a house on the beach, and here it is.
What is it? Are you going to buy something?
Sabrina, along with having this romantic thing going on with Newman, has another character trait. She's an alcoholic. And I'm not joking. She's shown to be very much drunk a lot of the time. It's I don't know. It's played for laughs. You know, she's just always tipsy, I suppose, rather than outright violently drunk or anything. But,
yeah.
Nonetheless, I just noticed. Did you see the kid's eyes there change from blue to green and then back to blue as his expression changed? That's just
sloppy.
I don't know what happened there, because I'm guessing it's just something to do with the encoding of the colours on the DS or something. But yeah, she'll sell you a few food items and so on here as well. Nothing useful, really. Ice cream is yummy. That's about it. Let's see if his eyes change colour again, or if maybe I was seeing things, but no, his eyes didn't change colour that time.
Okay.
I'm gonna blame the DS compression rather than the artwork, because it would take some effort to draw him with two different eye colours, really.
Yeah.
So here we are about to get the first of our tools that Mist didn't give us at the start. Sabrina here is about to give us a fishing rod. I use this. I haven't played all the way through this game yet, but I'll probably use this precisely once in the playthrough, and that's right now to demonstrate how you use a fishing rod. You walk up to some water and you use the fishing rod, and then you wait for something to catch onto the bait.
Takes a while.
There we go. And I caught a sardine. There we go. Actually, fishing isn't bad to do at the beginning of the game, because the fish sell for a decent amount.
Yeah, I recall fishing a lot before getting all of my tools and getting weapons and such.
Yeah. Really, it's a viable option, certainly. I don't think I'm going to go for it, because I'm going to do different methods to get money instead, but, you know, it's...
Like me always gets things wrong.
it's certainly an option. That's it's good at the beginning, and again, once you can cook the fish with various things.
Yeah.
You can fish in different places and get better fish. You can upgrade the rod. The problem with upgrading the rod is that it requires materials. Past like the first upgrade, it requires materials that you just can't get until late in the game. So it's a bit of a pain, but
Yeah, again, they didn't think it through.
yeah, but you can upgrade the rod, and if you upgrade it near the end of the game, I'm guessing you can get some spectacular fish with it. But again, I don't really see much point, except again, there's the one girl who wants a high-level fish that you have to get through an impossible mechanic, and you might want a rune point refill in the dungeon. There is a second way to refill rune points in the dungeon, and obviously we'll be going over that when we get to it, and it's a lot more convenient than bringing food with you. So I'm talking to Bianca here, and she's insulting my house. But the reason I'm talking to her is because, again, you can get another tool from her. By talking to her and having her insult your house, she'll have Tabitha here give you an axe, which is what we were saving the wood for. These wood sticks you can chop up with your axe, and it is the only way to get wood in this game. You can't just put the wood sticks into your wood bin, you have to chop them with the axe, for some reason. So I think that's what I'm about to go do now, unless I go and collect any other tools, but I think at this point I've got all the tools I was going to get. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going to the mayor's house to see the little cutscene. Okay. Yeah, this is the mayor's house, and Godwin here, who we're probably... Yeah, there we go. Godwin here is the mayor. He's possibly the most important character in terms of story progression in the game, because to get into the various dungeons, you need to get permits from him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, that means you'll be coming here fairly often just to get access to the next dungeon. His requirements are generally complete a dungeon and plough about 50 squares in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Inside of the dungeons, there's actually farmable areas. So, yeah, that's why we were talking about getting water for the watering can anywhere earlier. Because what we did before we found out that you could do that is plant some stuff in a dungeon, water 12 squares, walk out, go to that one watering hole where we thought we could get water, walk back into the dungeon, fight through half the dungeon again, water 12 more squares, repeat.
Not very efficient.
No.
Not at all efficient.
No. So here's me putting down all the wood, and I'm going to be using the axe on it. All these tree stumps, you might think that you could use your axe on those. You can't yet because it's cheap, and I mean, look at it. Look at the icon. It's clearly broken. You need to upgrade your axe before you can chop the chop up the tree stumps there. But we'll be doing that. I actually didn't mind the wood chopping mechanic, really. I mean, you use wood for precisely two things. One of them is upgrading your house, and one of them is building stables. But the one thing that they managed to balance quite well, I think, was the wood.
Yeah, I was pretty comfortable with the wood stuff.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm doing now is, to get the pass to get into the first cave, you need to plough something like 50 squares. So that's me. I think I just went around the edge of the entire farm to plough the squares. And now I'm going off to the Mayor's Manor to pick up the pass for our first dungeon.
Hello.
For the sake of further development of our town. I don't quite know how you can go in a cave now or develop the town, but that's his shtick, is that he wants everything to develop the town. You also notice that my HP is very, very low here. I kind of used my healing items to to get through the ploughing.
Oh, wow.
Here's Lucas that I was talking about earlier. Last part. Yeah. I don't want to hear your boring stories, and yet he doesn't give up. You know, that's it. Just give up, Lucas. Don't stop bothering. I know she's cute, but if she says no, no means no. Get out of here means get out of here. I don't like him. Oh yes, and also if you plough enough squares, she gives you a sickle, which can be used either to just get rid of weeds, or later if you actually plant grazing grass, you can use it to harvest that, which will go straight into your barns. What am I doing? Oh, I was talking about how she comes down at 5 o'clock to collect the stuff from your bin.
Oh.
That's what she's doing here. So she's talking about the shipping box. And if you keep a button, you can keep shipping things. Wow, you filled it up. Very good. And so she's given us money. How much money do we have? Let's find out. We have 496 gold. It's on the top screen. The only reason I'm keeping the top screen around for this playthrough, incidentally, is because the amount of gold and wood is on the top screen when you go into that menu.
You got business here?
So now that we have 496 gold, what can we buy? Nothing. It costs 800 gold for a sword. Oh well. We tried. What am I doing? I must have forgotten about the bathhouse on this day, because,
Yeah, you could have.
I think for some real weird reason, I wanted to save my gold. I had 496, I didn't want to even spend 10 gold or something like that. I think that's what I'm doing here. So I just go to bed. I should have gone to the bathhouse, but I went to bed. There is a reason, by the way, that I'm saving every time before I go to bed, and while it hasn't happened yet on recording, it almost certainly will at some point, probably during the summer season, because this game is divided into seasons, obviously. So I'll be sure to show that off when that does happen. Off we go then to the cave, Carmite Cave, the first cave. It's pretty simple, but walking in here for the first time, you might get your ass handed to you, basically, by the monsters.
Yeah, the hoe isn't really the best weapon here.
No, it really isn't. Here's Mist. For some reason, when you walk into a cave, every time she's going to come along and have a chat with you. The first time here is really useful because she gives you the I think it's called the escape spell. And that means that any time you can cast a spell, which will is absolutely free to cast, and it will just teleport you to the beginning of the dungeon. It is, I would say, the most useful spell in the game, but that's because I think most of the spells are useless. Any spell except for this escape spell and the teleport spell that we saw in the library costs RP to use. You can't cast it from your HP, it's only RP that works for it. They're usually prohibitively expensive. Your RP will never go up. The maximum RP you can have, I think, is always 100. So they never get any cheaper. And yeah, that's about it. So they're really just, and they don't do that much damage compared to some of the swords you can get. They're really just useless. Another example of things just not being balanced in this game and them not taking enough time. So anyway, this here, as I was saying, you can farm in the caves, and this here is some farming land. Like your farm, it will probably be a bit trashy when you first get there. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I'm demonstrating the escape spell.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to leave for some reason, and so I demonstrate the escape spell. That's what it does. It teleports you to the beginning of the dungeon. I forget what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm selling the rubbish that I picked up in that dungeon, probably.
Yeah, but you could have just plowed the
I could have.
land, right?
Oh, I don't think I've even watered the plants today,
Nope.
from the looks of it. Am I going to remember to do that? Yes I am. Okay, good.
Yes, well done.
If you don't water your plants, it's not the end of the world. They don't die or anything. They just don't actually grow up a stage for that day. So it's not massively important, but it is important to water your plants as you go along. So yeah, do that. What am I up to? I'm looking at my wood and my gold, I guess, from here. And that's what's on the top screen. That's the only thing I can think of that I wanted to do there.
Yep, and time to bed now, I guess.
I doubt it. I've still got plenty to do in the cave. I wouldn't go to bed just yet. As you said, I can at least plough in the cave. Oh, I lost track of time again.
End of the episode.